So hello, let's talk Christmas jumpers. So hello and welcome. This week we are looking at Christmas jumpers and cardigans because hey, it's that time of year where things need to be getting a little bit cozier and we're nearly into Christmas season. So if you're going to be knitting or crocheting a Christmas sweater or cardigan for yourself this year, you probably want to think about getting it started fairly soon. Obviously, when you start depends on your speed of knitting or crochet. Mine's been a little slow lately, so hopefully I've got enough time. But on that note, let's take a little look at the cardigan that I will be knitting myself this year. I have the yarn already. I have not wound it up yet, but I have the yarn. Now, this is a pattern that I have been meaning to knit up for years. I bought the pattern not exactly when it came out, but I've had it for a while. And it's available on RAVELRY. As far as I know, it's not available anywhere else. It's a Skeindeer pattern. I don't think she sells off RAVELRY, but correct me if I'm wrong, because that would be useful to know. And it is this pattern here. It is the Skumring Nightfall cardigan, which is a gradient cardigan with this lovely colourwork tree, like Christmas tree style tree pattern with all the lice stitching that makes it look a little bit like snowfall. Now I'm going to be knitting this in green yarn. I don't know why I'm looking at my laptop over here. The yarn is not on it. So I'm going to be knitting mine in a green gradient rather than the blue that is pictured in the image. Mostly because I quite fancy having a green cardigan. Green works quite well for my colouring. So I thought we'll do green this year. So that's Skumring, and that's what I will be working on. But there are loads of other patterns out there available, some free, some not so free. So let's have a little look at what you can find in the Christmas jumper cardigan sphere elsewhere on the Knitiverse. We're going outside of RAVELRY. So let's jump over to Lovecrafts. Lovecrafts used to be primarily yarn, so it was love knitting, love crochet. It's now love crafts, and it has a mixture of knitting, crochet, sewing, diamond painting, all sorts of things on there. So it's becoming a bit of a smorgasbord of crafty goodness, and they do a mixture of free patterns and bought patterns. Shameless plug, the only patterns I've ever released are available on RAVELRY and on Lovecrafts. They are on Etsy as well, but Lovecrafts is a good way to get them. RAVELRY is a good way to get them if you're able to use that. So shameless plug, none of them are Christmas patterns. So let's move the plug to one side and carry on with our exploration of what is out there to knit and crochet this winter. So we're going to start with knitting. Most of what I found is knitting projects, and there are some crochet ones to share with you towards the end. So the first off RAVELRY sweater that I'm going to show you is the Harlequin Christmas cardigan. I was checking the names of things on my laptop, which is right here. Now this is a lovely checkered pattern. It looked to me like entrelac when I first saw it, but actually Anna Wilkinson, who designed it, says it's in intarsia. So if you're not sure what intarsia is or how to work it, take a look at last week's video once you finish watching this one, where I showed how you actually twist the yarn together to make sure you don't have any gaps and slits and stuff in your intarsia work. So it's this lovely checkerboard pattern. It's a quite cropped cardigan by cardigan standards. It's rather cute, rather bubbly, rather sort of dopamine dressing, and I think depending on the colours that you choose, you could probably make this work all year round if that's your kind of style. She says in her blurb on Lovecraft about it that it was inspired by Tatty Divine's Christmas 2016 jewellery. So it looks like it may well be in collaboration with Tatty Divine, which always excites me when I see Tatty Divine places. And actually, there's quite a few people out there that I get quite excited when I see this stuff. I don't own any Tatty Divine stuff, but Rosie Wolfenden, that founded Tatty Divine, was a year above me at school. Her mum taught me Spanish. So I get excited there. That's the first sweater to show you, and like I say, I think that could be made to work for an all year round cardigan depending on your colour choice. So you could do it in a fairly neutral monochromatic kind of colourway if you wanted to, or just doing it in the Christmas jewelry type colours if you want it specifically for Christmas. So that could be quite versatile. The next one I have to show you is also an Anna Wilkinson design. There's a slightly different one. Again, same inspiration, same Tatty Divine connection there. So this is the holly cardigan. So it's got little holly leaves and berries. I think they're appliqued on top of the cardigan. The base cardigan itself, again, would be a nice versatile pattern to have all year round. There's diamond lattice motif in pearls by the look of it. And again, it looks like a fairly cropped length cardigan as cardigans go. And it's the holly leaves that really sort of set this off as specifically a Christmas cardigan. But again, you could, as I say, omit those appliques and just work the base cardigan in another colourway to make it work all year round if you wanted to. So they're two, I think, quite versatile cardigan patterns to have in your stash that would work for Christmas and would work for other seasons as well. If they are specifically designed with Christmas in mind, but that doesn't mean you can't modify and change your colour choices and have an all year round version and a Christmas version. So the third cardigan, we're going back to some intarsia with this one. This is the Adult Christmas Santa cardigan. This is a longer line cardigan. Still looking at Lovecraft at the moment. This is by BlondeMoments. So, I say, this looks to me like there's a couple of intarsia motifs of Santa's head on the front, but otherwise quite a simple simple concept to the cardigan. It looks like it's all in stocking stitch, raglan sleeves, and what looks like a stocking stitch button band. Yeah, that looks like a stocking stitch button band down the front. So this, I think, would be really easy to wear, really easy to sling on over jeans and a t-shirt, good for sort of lounging around during the festive period. So yeah, that's a very definitively Christmassy cardigan. And those three patterns were all paid for patterns. This next Lovecraft patterns that I'm going to show you is actually a free pattern from Novita. Novita is a yarn company. So this is again, it looks like intarsia. It's designed by Cisco Salpakivi. I don't even know what country they're from, so I could be completely wide of the mark there. Hopefully I'm relatively close with the pronunciation. It won't be right. But yeah, so Cisco Salpakivi, and it's a free pattern available through Lovecraft. It's probably available elsewhere as well. Got this intarsia reindeer across the front. It also looks like it's got some applique on there as well. So the face and the antlers seem to be intarsia, and then the bows that are hanging on the reindeer's antlers and the wreath that's in its mouth appear to be appliqued on. So you could, if you wanted to, leave off the appliques and make it a more unisex, more gender neutral pattern. But that looks quite fun, and who doesn't love a good free pattern? So that's 4 knitting Christmas sweaters from Lovecrafts, or available on Lovecrafts. So let's move on to a different website. I will, of course, be linking all of these down below. So we're going to take a look at Drops designs. This is garnstudio.com. Now, there are a lot of individual downloadable patterns on the Drops website with a Christmas theme. Somehow we've got some mushrooms sneaking in there as well, so there might be a little bit of a crossover with Christmas and autumn for some of these. I'm highlighting specifically that they've got lots of patterns individually available to download on their website, because what they've done is they've got the same design in cardigans and sweaters, and they've got them in adult and child and in male and female. So, well, men's and women's rather. I mean, the kids' jumpers, it's fairly unisex anyway with the shaping. So yeah, so they've got the variety there that you can knit all of their jumpers, all of their Christmas jumpers as far as well, pretty much most of them anyway, as sweaters or as cardigans in various different sizes. So that's worth a little look through, and to give you an idea of the kinds of thing that's on there, I'm going to show you 3 specifically. So first up we have this colourwork sweater with hearts, snowmen, Christmas trees, and I think they're Santas, they could be elves, and another row of Christmas trees at the top. So I'm showing you the cardigan version here, mostly because I'm a little bit into cardigans at the moment. They seem quite practical for me at this point in time. So the lovely colourwork yoke that goes down onto sort of the middle of the upper arm. So the colourwork continues after you split for the sleeves. I'm assuming it's a top-down sweater. Yeah, top-down round yoke. And it's got colour detail on the ribbing at the neckline as well. So some really nice details with that. The second drops design I'm going to show you is the silver Stag cardigan. So again, this is a colourwork cardigan. It's got that kind of Scandinavian feel to it, and this one's a bit more muted in the way that they've done it for the photography anyway. The grey background and the white contrast colour. Got the typical Scandinavian star, the Norwegian star type pattern as a band around the bottom of the yoke. Then you've got these reindeer, these stags, all the way around, and some further colourwork lines at the top. There's also a bit of colourwork detail on the cuffs there as well. Again, I'm showing you the cardigan version. Other versions are available, I believe, in this one. Just going down the page. Yeah, there's a sweatshirt version as well for this one. I can't see a kids version. There might be. It seems to be an adults one, that one. And the third drops design pattern that I'm going to show you is available in adults and children, in men's and women's, and is available as a cardigan. Certainly the children's version is available as a cardigan. Can't see the adults as a cardigan, but that wouldn't be too much of a modification to steep that into a cardigan if you wanted to. And that is the Reindeer Dance Sweater. So this is another colourwork yoke. So we've got bands of colourwork separating out reindeer's heads, and it looks like mistletoe underneath from this distance. So yeah, really nice classic colourwork designs with a bit of fun to them, but not too sort of in-your-face novelty sweater. I think it's quite nice, that sort of Scandinavian feel to it, rather than, hey, I'm wearing an ugly sweater. Which I think you can quite often get for Christmas sweaters, and don't get me wrong, there's a place for it. But yeah, it's nice to have the variation there. There's something a little bit more subtle, a little bit more workwear appropriate, because you could wear some of these to the office and not get too many weird looks in that last week running up to Christmas. And the same is true of the next pattern that I'm going to show you, which I found on Selfmade, which is the website that used to be Stoff and Stil. It's the same company, and they've just changed the name. And this is a Duffel alpaca knitting pattern, it says. They're calling it the Christmas tree vest. So this is a rather lovely, again, office appropriate, all over like Fair Isle style colourwork. I mean, it's not traditional Fair Isle patterns, but it's that kind of a concept. Fair Isle style tank top, essentially. Yes, in the UK we call sweater vests tank tops. A tank top to us is a sweater vest. A vest to us is underwear, or the wife beater type tops. We don't call them wife beaters in the UK. We call them vests. So yeah, terminology. So this is a rather lovely pattern, particularly in the colourways that they've chosen. Again, it's nice and subtle, not too in your face. Well, subtle as a Christmas jumper gets. So yeah, I can see that being worn under a jacket to go to the office for that extra layer of warmth. It works styled as it is in the picture as well. That looks quite office appropriate with the shirt and the skirt on it. It would also work very nicely with a pair of jeans. So good versatile pattern, like it a lot. Yeah, so that I think might have to go on my list for another year. We then are going to move on to King Cole patterns. Now this one I found on misslavenders.co.uk, but it is a King Cole sweater pattern. It's designed for double knit, an adult sweater, and it's a very simple base sweater, quite a wide neckline for the women's version, and a sort of mock turtleneck kind of neckline for the men's version. Same men's and women's version, based purely on who's wearing them in the pictures. Chop and change at your discretion. So the thing that makes these essentially fairly straightforward sweaters, quite simple, classic, easy to wear sweaters, into Christmas sweaters, is the detailing around the neck. So we've got a holly one, which appears to be a mixture of intarsia and applique. The berries seem to be appliqued on top of some intarsia. And then on the men's version, or the version that the man is wearing, we have these intarsia candy canes. So again, nice versatile pattern, got multiple options in there. And yeah, DK yarn, so it wouldn't be too difficult to knit that up. So that's the knit sweaters and cardigans that I wanted to share with you, but we're going to move on to some crochet now. I've never crocheted a garment. I've done crochet trims on garments, but I've not crocheted an entire garment. Some of these patterns, though, may actually sway me to do so. Oh, I tell you, I have crocheted one garment. One. There's a mandala cardigan. There we go. That wasn't exactly a difficult task. So popping over to Lovecrafts again, we've got the Christmas tree mosaic duffel coats. This is a bit of a coatigan, with this. I suppose that's what mosaic crochet is. I was going to say colourwork. So you've got these Christmas tree designs all over the coatigan, the duffel, and it's got a hood, so that's a bit of outerwear for you. If it's not too cold, but I think that would be quite snuggly to wear around the house, or if you're a student, I would have worn something like that to go to the library, sit and study in the library, where the air conditioning is maybe a little higher than you want it to be, to keep you snuggly and warm. If you're a dog walker and it's not too frosty, that would also be a good one to wear out for dog walks, I think. Okay, so the next crochet idea concept for a cardigan to do for Christmas that I'm going to share with you is on Repeat Crafter Me, and it's more a modification or a colour choice from a free pattern. So this is the blog post that is entitled Fall into Christmas Crochet Cardigan. So as you can see, she's done, this is Sarah from Repeat Crafter Me, has done half of the cardigan in autumnal, fall, if you're American, autumnal colours, and the other half in Christmas colours. So we've got pumpkin on one side, Christmas tree on the other. And she's used as the base pattern the Xmas Cardi pattern, which is available for free either through the Repeat Crafter Me website or through Yarnspirations. So again, I'll link the blog post down below, and there are links through to the pattern from there. I'll link to the blog post rather than the pattern, so that A, you can choose whether you get it from Repeat Crafter Me or Yarnspirations, but B, so that you can see the yarns that she used for the version that she's made on the blog post. So I think that's a very festive way to do it, and to make it Christmassy, you would just do the Christmas side on both sides. But yeah, so that's an interesting little pattern. I think it's an interesting construction as well for a cardigan, so I may need to look into that one as maybe my first proper crochet garment that isn't a mandala. But then again, there's the next option as well, which is really grabbing my attention, and you never know, may well be next year's Christmas sweater. This is the Johanna Christmas sweater, which is on the Hobby website. I say hobby. I know some vloggers, American vloggers, refer to it as Hobie, but I say hobby. This is a corner to corner crochet sweater. I've not done corner to corner either with crochet, but this does look rather wearable as crochet garments go. This is why I haven't made many crochet, haven't been inspired to want to make many crochet garments. A lot of them look very much like you're wearing a doily, which is not what I'm going for with my style. The mandala cardigan, I don't really wear it very much, which is why it sort of slipped my mind initially when I was talking about whether to make crochet or not. But this I think is very wearable. And also the corner to corner construction of it gives it this really interesting texture to it. So I think that's quite an unusual one. I've not seen anything like it before. Very tempted, and it's free. So I might have to download that, and you never know, it might be next year's. Okay, so that's all the knit and crochet sweaters and cardigans that I wanted to share with you today. Now, if you are more of a sewer than a knitter or a crocheter, it doesn't mean you can't have the same fun with Christmas sweaters and Christmas cardigans. I would suggest a pattern like this one. This is the Marlowe cardigan, which comes in a cropped length and a longer length. I would suggest getting something like that and some nice Christmassy fabric, or fabric in Christmas colours. This pattern on the longer version has patch pockets, so you could do some fussy cutting and put patch pockets on in Christmas fabric onto an otherwise more block coloured cardigan yourself, to make it a bit more Christmassy. So yes, this is a good pattern for this sort of thing. It would be good for colour blocking as well. So you could do the front panels, you could do red on one side, green on the other, and swap it around with the neckband because it's got a seam at the centre back of the neck. You could also do the same with the sleeves and do one sleeve in red, one sleeve in green, and swap the cuffs over. So yeah, there's plenty of options for making a Christmassy cardigan or sweater by picking the right fabric if you're a sewist, and it would certainly be a lot quicker than knitting or crochet. So yeah, so that's all I have for you today. Thank you so much for spending some time with me. If you've enjoyed your time here, feel free to like and subscribe down below. Leave me a comment to let me know if you're going to be making a Christmas sweater this year yourself, and I will see you next week. But in the meantime, there's this video here that may be of interest to you. Until next time, happy crafting, and bye-bye for now.